Hey everyone, today we're talking about a guy who straight up refused to believe World War II was over for 30 years. While the rest of the world was watching TV, eating fast food, this dude was still out there dodging imaginary bullets. Let's get into it. In 1945, World War II was already over. The world moved on, but not Hiro Onoda. Everything started in December 1944. Japan was losing the war, so they sent Onoda to Lubang Island in the Philippines with one simple mission: destroy enemy resource, conduct guerrilla warfare, never surrender, and most importantly, we will come for you. This one I'm not too sure about it, but let's continue. The Allied forces landed on Lubang Island in February 1945, wiping out most of the Japanese soldiers. But Onoda and a few others escaped into the jungle. And since no one showed up to tell them otherwise, they just kept fighting. When the war ended, planes dropped leaflets over the jungle saying, "The war is over, Japan has surrendered, you can go home now." Onoda picked one up, looked at it, and thought, "Nice try, America. You think I'm stupid?" More leaflets followed, then newspaper, and then letter from his family. Then villagers tried to talk to him, he shot them. Then Japan sent his actual family to call out to him, he shot them. This man literally shot his own brother because he thought he was part of an enemy plot. And at this point, you have to respect the commitment. But soon enough, his comrades started dropping. At first, Onoda wasn't alone. He had 3 other soldiers with him. In 1949, Yuichi Akatsu got tired of jungle life and surrendered to the Philippines army. Onoda's reaction? He was obviously brainwashed by the enemy. In 1954, Corporal Soichi Shimada was shot and killed during a gunfight with local police. In 1972, the last soldier Kinshiki Kozuka was gunned down by authorities. Now you may be wondering, what did they do to survive for 28 years? Well, they were burning rice fields, raiding villages, and getting into gunfights with cops. Now Onoda was completely alone on an island in the Philippines. Did he finally give up? Of course not. He kept going, surviving on coconuts, bananas, and whatever he could steal from locals who were now very tired of this. Now, just imagine having someone who's living in the woods on your island who still thinks that World War II is going on, stealing all your food, and sometimes killing people. Fast forward to 1974. A Japanese college dropout named Norio Suzuki decided to go on a very specific adventure. His goal? I'm going to find Lieutenant Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman, in that order. And somehow he actually found one of them. Suzuki walked into the jungle, looked at this rugged rifle-carrying maniac, and said, "Hey man, the war's been over for 30 years. You can come home now." Onoda, standing there with a rusty World War II rifle, stared at him and said, "I only take order from my commanding officer," who, by the way, was now a retired bookstore owner in Japan. So Suzuki went back to Japan, told the government, and Japan tracked down Onoda's old commander. On March 9, 1974, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, Onoda's former officer, was flown down to the Philippines. He walked into the jungle and saw this World War II officer, old, stinky, tired, and was like, "Alright man, I don't know how to tell you this, but the war's been over for 3 decades now. You're done. You can go on." Onoda, with his rifle in his hand, said, "Seriously?" He responded, "Yeah, seriously." "So you're telling me that I've been fighting for no reason for 30 years? Pretty much, yeah. Onoda just stood there, processing the fact that he had spent his entire adult life fighting a war that no longer existed, and just said, "Okay, let's go home." And just like that, he surrendered. Now, what the fuck is this? In my opinion, he should have shot the guy and killed him. I don't care, what is this? Be mad or something. Now, back to Japan. After 3 decades in the jungle, Onoda returned to a Japan that he didn't even recognize. No more Imperial Army, fast food everywhere, anime. The world had moved on, but not him, who still had the mindset of a soldier. Struggling to adjust, he went to Brazil and became a ranger. Eventually, he returned to Japan and opened a survival school for kids, because apparently 30 years of jungle warfare wasn't quite enough for him. Now, that was the insane story of Hiro Onoda. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.